Great decorating is all about the details, including a gorgeous textured set of coasters. How we love a coaster. Functional. And why not be beautiful? Quince has a gorgeous set of woven rattan coasters in 3 terrific colors with their own little holder that you're going to absolutely love. And if you haven't visited quince.com/DTT yet, get on over there. It's everyday elevated living without the markup. From crisp 100% linen bedding and soft organic cotton towels to airy curtains and premium kitchen tools designed for everyday use. And the best part? Like Quince's clothing, their home goods are half the cost of similar brands. By partnering with top artisans, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Elevate your space with home essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Wilkness here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks Plus. It's another DTT Plus where you get more of us. Today we are discussing north-facing room solutions. North-facing rooms are not necessarily all doom and gloom. There are ways to make them work beautifully, and we're going to share our thoughts with you today.
That's right. I think this would also apply to a room that just doesn't have a very large window. We're really talking about a room that just does not get a lot of light for whatever reason.
Yeah, and sometimes people want to just treat them like all the other rooms in the house, but they're different because of this lack of natural light. We all know what natural light can do to a space, makes it really cozy and warm and makes the colors look better. And when you don't have that, it's not terrible, as I said, but you have to be aware of your deprivation of natural light and you have to work within that. Just like if you had too much light in a room and glare, you would do different things in that room. You wouldn't put your TV across from a window that's going to produce a ton of glare. You might choose different colors because it might just be too bright. So you have to make those same adjustments in a room that's not getting a lot of natural light. And oftentimes that is a north-facing room. The beauty of some north-facing rooms in general is that, they may have a number of windows, but they just are not getting direct sunlight, but it's a lovely even light. Photographers and artists tend to like north-facing light for maybe their studios or they like days that are a little overcast, particularly for photography, because you don't have those harsh glares of the sun. So there's good things about north-facing light too, but you just have to be aware of what's going on in your space so you can make the right choices.
Yes, I think the first thing I would think about is adding some reflective material to the room. So we're talking about glossy things, metallics, things that are going to really catch that light and not absorb the light, but kind of bounce it. So you're talking lighter colors and, like I said, kind of metallics, anything with a glossy paint, all of that stuff is going to reflect that light back into the room.
Yes, maybe some lacquers. I didn't have this on my list, but when you said reflective materials, I was thinking even, clearly things like mirrors and metals and things like that. But you could paint your ceiling. I don't think you're going to want to do the walls but you could paint your ceiling in a metallic paint. And I have done that to great success in a darker room in my home. It was my daughter's room, and we did lovely silver metallic paint, and Modern Masters makes great metallic paints, and Home Depot also has a line of metallic paints, and it's very subtle, but it's lovely. And we have a chandelier. So it really, when that's on, it reflects beautifully and it's bouncing the light around. So it really did a lot for that particular room. So I'm glad you mentioned that because I wouldn't have thought of that particular tip.
Well, and when you say mirrors, so we're talking about mirrors that you hang on the wall, and in particular, larger mirrors. And sometimes it's fun to buy some of those mirrors that have the panes in them that look kind of like a window. But you definitely want some large mirrors to really bounce that light. And it's best to have them on the wall opposite the window. So that's really going to bring in even more light than the the glossy surfaces and the metallics. But that does a great job of bringing more light in as well.
I can speak from personal experience about the north facing room because that's how my bedroom is situated in our home. And I first started out with gray paint on the wall because when we were doing this house, whatever that was, 10 years ago, by the time I got to the paint part, gray was so hot. I didn't go overboard with the gray, but I do love that Stonington gray. And I used a little bit of it downstairs, and we had some left over, and I was like, let's just do the bedroom. That'll be nice and soothing. But I guess I wasn't really paying that much attention to the fact that it's north facing. And it was very pretty, and it was a really lovely gray, not the filling station gray. It wasn't too cool. It's really a true gray, maybe even tends a little warmer. Did some bedding. I know I got the Ballard bedding. That's kind of like the gray and white botanical, and it was very pretty, but it was a little boring, and nothing popped. And I thought about it, and maybe wallpaper, and when I wanted to change it, well, my walls today are Sudbury Yellow by Farrow and Ball, and I've definitely leaned into that ochre yellow, which was a small accent color when I started the house. I have it in a lot more places throughout my home now, but it is the primary color in this north-facing room. So whatever natural light, and particularly around, depending on the time of year, 3 to 4:30 in the afternoon, my bedroom glows. I try to come up with reasons to be in there at that time of day because it's kind of a weird time to be in my room. It is so beautiful. And what a difference. And like Anita is always telling us, I took pictures. Of course, I was taking pictures all the time, especially back when I first did the gray paint job. But I took more pictures and I did a side-by-side with them. I could not believe the difference and the fact that it was even the same room. So it's so much better. I added some mirrors. I did mirrors behind the lamps on the side tables. So when the lamps are on, they reflect the mirror too. So, even when it's a little bit darker, it's not dark outside, but it's darker in that room, and you need to put a side light on, you're bouncing the bulb light around too. So that's another tip as far as positioning of mirrors, not only, as Anita mentioned, opposite the window you may have in that room, but you could put mirrors. I have really slim, long rectangle mirrors behind the nightstands and then table lamps in front of them. And so that really does a good job of bouncing it's still incandescent. I haven't burned out those bulbs yet. Bulb light around the room. Don't tell anybody, but I think they're grandfathered in until they burn out. So that's a great tip as well. But changing the paint color. So if you've got a north-facing room and you did a white, sometimes whites look dirty in north-facing rooms. You might say, oh, just the same white I have everywhere in my house. It's going to look different in that north-facing room. North-facing rooms also tend to emphasize any green undertones. So if the white you picked has some bluish green undertones in it, you might be reading more green on the walls. If there are trees outside, the green from the tree may also impact what the paint color looks like in a north-facing room. And that's kind of true of almost any room, but particularly in a north-facing room. So be very cognizant of your paint color in a north-facing room. And you may want to go fairly warm like I did, or you might want to lean into the dark. Don't fight it and do navy or an aubergine, a dark green, and maybe, as Anita mentioned, use a lacquer or a semi-gloss finish on maybe the cabinetry or something to get the light to reflect off that dark saturated color.
Yeah, I think that's something to think about. You certainly can lean into it. And a lot of times we do suggest whatever problem you're facing to kind of lean into it and try to make a negative a positive. Mm-hmm. So this is something you can do in this type of room, but just know it's going to be dark. So if that's going to make you sad, or you have that seasonal affected disorder, that, and you live up north, that might not be the thing for you. So just kind of think it through before you go dark. But I think that is a wonderful way to go. And as I'm thinking here, of course, our house is flooded with light. There's so many windows, except there's one bedroom where there's just a small dormer window, and that's the only window in the room. And yeah, I'm thinking, yes, I probably should put a big mirror in that room. And that's Evie's room. So you know what? It will be used.
Oh, you're here. I was busy crushing it on Cookie Jam. Cookie Jam is so much fun. It's a free match 3 game you play on your phone or tablet. You just match 3 cookies or candy to clear the board and solve puzzles. There are over 11,000 levels with new ones added every week, so you're never going to run out of challenges. Take a break while you're online at the bank, while you're waiting for a doctor's appointment. Whether you're taking a quick break or you just need a moment to relax, Cookie Jam is an easy, soothing way to unwind alongside over 100 million players around the world. I enjoy the escape of Cookie Jam. It's kind of exercising my brain without me knowing I'm exercising my brain. So you deserve a treat. Join me and over 100 million other Match 3 players and download Cookie Jam today. So treat yourself to Cookie Jam. Join over 100 million Match 3 players and download Cookie Jam today.
If your dog could talk, they'd beg for Ollie. The full-body tail wag, the excited little hops, the big goofy grin, that's the Ollie effect. Ollie delivers clean, fresh nutrition in 5 drool-worthy flavors, even for the pickiest eaters. Made in U.S. kitchens with highest quality human-grade ingredients, Ollie's food contains no fillers, no preservatives, just real food. With 5 protein-packed recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes or fresh turkey with blueberries, even the pickiest eaters can't resist. You might think, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Dogs deserve the best, and that means fresh, healthy food. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a happiness guarantee on the first box, so if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box.
I was going to suggest some paint colors, not specific colors, and one of them is shell pink. And for Evie's room, maybe that would be absolutely perfect.
Yes.
Because if you think of a shell, like the inside of a shell or like a ballerina slipper type pink, that's a really nice tone in a north-facing room if you're not a person who wants to do a lot of color. So think about that, or a white that has pink undertones. I can't remember the one that I know of from Benjamin Moore. I can't remember the name of it, but there is a white that has a bit of a pink undertone in the Benjamin Moore collection. And I think you all probably know this, but if you're trying to discern the undertone of a white paint, put the chip on top of a piece of white printer paper, and it should instantly reveal itself to you, whether it's sort of a bluey green undertone or if it's a warmer yellowy creamy or maybe a pink. So pink, a shell pink, a light pink if you don't want to bring up a really saturated color or do a really warm color like I did, but try to stay away from any blue or green undertones in any of the pinks. And from my own experience, I would say stay away from gray. So if you have a north-facing room, go in there. And if you're not sure, get a compass. As Anita mentioned in the beginning, it doesn't really necessarily even have to be north-facing in a compass direction. If it's just light challenged, natural light challenged, that these tips work for a room like that as well. So go in there, have a look, see what's going on in there right now, and and think about some of the suggestions that we have made today. And maybe you're going to make that room feel a little bit more inviting.
Yeah, now I have to look for a mirror with a pink frame.
Oh, wow. You guys are in
I'll
deep.
let you know if I find one. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Fabulous, fun, wow, even better than I had hoped or expected. These are just a few of the words used to describe a DTT design consult. We've been doing consults for many years, and boy, are we good at it. And people are loving the results of the advice and suggestions that we make for them. It's so easy to schedule a consult with us. Just simply go to our website, decoratingtipsandtricks.com, and click consult. There you'll be led through the very simple process. And sooner than later, you, I, and Anita will be discussing your home in detail. So sign up for a consult today. Let us help you design and decorate the home that you want and deserve. Looking forward to talking to you soon.